How do I make money from the real estate sector? These have been the questions of a lot of persons here in Nigeria, both in the diaspora. And because a lot of persons don't have the answer to this question, they come into the sector with a very wrong mindset. And at the end of the day, they miss out on this particular part of the business. As much as a lot of persons are making money from the real estate sector, a lot of persons are still losing out from the real estate sector. And that is why we are having this conversation today. I am sure at the end of this conversation, you'll be able to tell if you really want to go into the real estate sector or which part of the real estate sector do you want to go to. Permit me to tell you that you can actually be in the real estate sector and make money even without having a dime in the sector, even without investing 1 naira in the sector. And how do you come to play in that part? It means that you are coming in as a what? As a realtor. Now, as a realtor that you are, your job here is just to connect buyer and seller. And when the business put through, you are paid what is called commission. Depending on the commission that you are willing to be paid, if, for instance, now you approach a company and they choose to pay you 5% of any business you bring into the company, and you're able to close a business of 5 million naira, as the case may be, it means that you are going home with nothing less than what? 250,000 naira for that particular business. What happens if that company begins to pay you 10% of any business that you bring into the company? It means that if you're able to close a business of 10 million, you are going home with what? 1 million naira. That is to say that you are what? A realtor. You did not come into the sector with any money. You came with zero capital. You came with just yourself and your what? Your intention to come and sell for the particular company. And then I have to warn here that you should be careful of the particular company you want to sell with. That company should be a company of integrity and trust. A company that has have proven record of what? Of integrity before you come into that particular sector to sell for them. The second on our list here is what? Renovation to sell. Now, a lot of persons don't know how to do this, but this is just very simple. All you need to do is to what? Get an apartment or get a building that is already old and deteriorated and nobody is going there. You come and buy that building at a very low cost, below the market value of that building, and then you renovate it to your renovate it to what? To your standard, and then you sell it off. And before you know it, you are able to take your capital and how much you have spent on renovating that building, and then you go with your interest. That is one of the ways you can still make money in the business. Another way you can make money in this sector is what? Land flipping. Now, this is one of the sectors, this is one of the processes that a lot of persons are using here in the city of Abuja. All this means is that you can get a property in anywhere in the city of Abuja, in any locations of your choice. You buy specifically land and leave it for some time, and after it has appreciated to over a period of time that you want, and it has gotten to the level and you feel like you want to sell, you can now say, okay, you put that land in the market and sell it. That is flipping. You flip it and you sell. You get your capital out of it, make your agreement, all agreements and every document signed, and you go home with your what? With your profit. Now, this is one part of the business that a lot of people have not discovered here yet in the city of Abuja or in Nigeria as a whole. This is just how you go about it. You build a property, and let's say, for instance, you want to sell that property at 100 million. All you need to do is to say that I need somebody that can come and live in that property for 5 years. And in 5 years, you are paying rent for that property. And after 5 years, if you are not paying the amount I wish you can pay, the property becomes your own. It depends on the agreement you want to go in with that person. You can do 5 years agreement. You can do 10 years agreement. You can even do as high as 20 years agreement, depending on how you want to go. And this is all about you buying. Let's say everything you spend in that property is within the range of, let's say, 50 million to get the property erected and everything. And you choose to sell this property within another range of, for instance, you want to sell this property at 100 million. Remember, you spent 50 million to get it done, and you are going to sell it at 100 million. If you do 100 million divided by 5, that is 20 million. It means that for every year, that client will be paying you 20 million as a rent, as his annual rent. And in 5 years, once he's done paying that 20 million, the house and everything become his own. And then this is the obonge of it all. What? Land banking. This is one method that a lot of investors have been using to make huge money and transform their life. This is an investment portfolio that a lot of investors have used to build wealth for themselves. What is land banking? Now, the whole conversation around land banking is not something we can treat in a day. Land banking is you getting the land in a very undesirable location, undeveloped location. In fact, I call it bush, where nothing seems to like coming up, and then you go to buy property there. Now, most times you buy these properties at the most lowest cost at all. You buy these properties at the most lowest price, at as it's going to be in the market at that point in time. There are a lot of properties that people buy during land banking for as low as 500,000 naira, and at the end of the day, you can leave this property now within another range of 10 to 20 years, as the case may be. Some it may not get to 20 years, but maximum, let's say 5 years. If you get a property of 5 million naira for a land banking project and you keep it for another 5 years, I bet you that you are coming back to sell that property not less than 50 million naira. So these are cases that I have handled myself. I've seen clients who have confessed myself to me that they bought this land as far back as 1 million naira and they are selling such a land as 20 million naira right now. So if you have followed this video to this point in time, then you can now tell which of the real estate sector you want to come into. Now, if you want to come in as a realtor and you don't know which company to go into, call the numbers on the screen of this video and we get to train you for free. We're going to be training you for free. We'll give you all the arsenals that you need to go into the market and become a realtor in this particular company, because your job is just to bring in investors, bring in buyers, you connect us with the buyers and we pay you. I've had a lot of persons in my community who I pay commission right now because why? They have been trained to be certified realtor here in the city of Abuja. And I can tell you for a fact that these guys are going home with not less than 500 to 1 million naira every single month, and you can become one of them. And then if you want to do land banking, we have a particular project right now in the city of Abuja, specifically Metama 2, where it is designated for what? Land banking. And as we speak, land is still going very much affordably for 5 to 10 million naira in this location. In fact, with as low as 2 million naira, you can get a property. Now, the good news is that you don't need to come in with 2 million naira to buy this property. With a down payment of 50%, which is 1 million naira, or 500,000 naira as an entry period, you can become a landowner in this particular location, and that is how you commence your journey to become a wealthy man or building wealth for yourself in the real estate sector here in the city of Abuja. If this video has helped you and you've gained knowledge and insight from this video, all I need you to do is just subscribe to this channel, follow, like, and share to as many as possible. Till I come away again, thank you and bye-bye.